chemistry is both qualitative and quantitative. And you have heard these words before, I believe? Okay. So, what's a qualitative statement?
Descriptive.
It's descriptive. If we talk about what you had left in your beakers after you heated them and desiccated them, and you said, I have a white crystalline substance, it appears to be dry, that is all qualitative information. That is all qualitative. If you say, I have 13.200 grams of this substance, that is quantitative information. And we use both of them in chemistry, but right now we're going to focus on the quantitative end. You guys are off to a fantastic start because I think without exception, other than a few little screw-ups that were not measurement related, all of you did a really good job with that separation lab in terms of making careful measurement, and you were great. So you're off to a good start on the quantitative end of chemistry. Measurements represent quantities. This is the weirdest thing to get your head around, but it's not as hard as you think. So if we say, what quantity are you measuring? Length is a quantity. Mass is a quantity. Volume is a quantity. The units are what we use to represent known portions of those quantities. So we use the meter. It's a known unit of length. It's something we can compare other things to. The gram, same thing. So we don't do as much with that in here as in physics, but units are not the quantity. You're not measuring how many meters it is. You're measuring its length. Okay. We use SI in science. You already know that you've known that for quite some time. And there are 7 base units, but we really only use 4 in here. So these are the 4 that we really use in chemistry, and they're the 4 you're responsible for. This all goes right back to the video that you did over the summer, the measure of things kind of video. And we talked a little bit about quantity and unit there. We talked about SI base units. And we talked about the difference between the SI base unit, what we mean when we say that, and what we mean when we say just base unit. So the SI official unit for mass, this is the one that really gets everybody. It's the kilogram. It's not the gram. It's the kilogram. Because grams are just too tiny, they're too awkward, so we don't use them. But we do use meters for length, we use degrees Kelvin for temperature, and we use moles for amount of a substance. These are the 4 you're going to use all the time, and they're the 4 that you'll be responsible for. Okay, if you would be so kind as to look on page 34 in your book, you will see the rest of the SI units. The 3 that we do not use in here, we don't use amps, amperes, and we don't use time in here. We don't really measure time in here. We do in physics a lot, but we don't do it in here. And we've never used the candela, the unit for luminous intensity, in physics or chemistry. I wouldn't know how to use a candela if you threatened me. I know how to use a candle, though. So you are responsible for the 4 up here. Okay, so we've got those 4 SI units that we're going to use a lot in here, and hand in hand with that, we have to know about all the prefixes and suffixes. There were 4 that I held you responsible for, or told you needed to know on the video and the quiz, and they were mega, kilo, centi, and milli, I believe, those 4. We're going to add 3 more to that. So we're going to add 3 more today. Everything, you know how to modify using prefixes, especially because you did the summer video. So if you would be so kind as to look at page 35, the 4 that you're going to add to your current list. So you've already got mega, kilo, we'll put our wiggly line. We've got mega, kilo, we've got centi, we've got milli. We're going to add to that Monday. We will pick up on Monday.